So let's begin with the setup. You have 2 straps and 2 rings. One thing to be aware of is a lot of the shops will sell 4-meter straps. I really recommend, if you can, get 6 or 9 meters. It gives you a lot more options on the objects you can throw these around. So that's just a quick tip for you there. Otherwise, they're generally inexpensive. It's worth shopping around. Make sure the rings are actually wooden, made out of actual wood. But all in all, not so difficult to get your head over. Now, this is me 2.5 years ago. It's after 3 days of playing around on these in Greece when my friend brought some with him. And I was scared, I won't lie. I thought what I was doing right now would be impossible, but you realize that things aren't actually so difficult. It just takes experience, and experience I got my own rings, and I practiced as much as I could when I could. Now, great things about the rings is, first of all, they're very portable. You can bring them on holiday, you can bring them to the park, you can bring them anywhere. They don't weigh very much. Therefore, it means you basically got a movable gym in your bag. The other thing about rings is you can do full body workouts with them. It can help your biceps, your triceps, your shoulders, your chest, your back. You can really just get jacked with rings on their own. The only limitation might be legs. It's a little bit harder, but there's so much you can do with these. So they're a fantastic resource to have. One other thing about rings is they are fun, and it will attract people. So if you're in the park with rings, sometimes people will just come up to you and want to talk to you. That very rarely happens in the gym. Outdoors, so people are curious and you can meet some great people. It's great for flirting if you want, but it really is a much more social activity, and you can spend time with friends doing it. Now, in terms of trees, you want to look at trees that have a horizontal branch like this one I found here. Sometimes you've got to look for 10, 20 minutes finding the right tree. Now, the branches don't have to be super thick. Trees are a lot stronger than you might think, but generally thicker the better, and you want them to be about 2-3 meters high, but there's a lot more flexibility than you realize here. Now, in terms of getting the strap over, you want the strap on in this way, so you've got the sort of buckle around your hand. Wrap it around your hand a few times so it has a little bit more weight to it, which will help it to slip around the tree, and then you've got to throw it over. So in this demonstration, I actually failed. As you can see, I didn't get it over first time. So just to show, it isn't easy. Don't worry if it takes you a few times. No one cares. And then in my second attempt, hopefully I succeeded. So we'll see right now. Attempt number 2, yep, over the tree. But you'll see that I haven't got it fully over, and I can't actually reach the strap to loop it around fully. So the trick here is just to try and loosen up the rope a bit, and eventually you should be able to get the strap a little bit lower so you can reach it. So I'm going to try one more time here, and you'll see this time it basically went a bit lower, a little bit lower, and now I'm able to reach the strap to bring it down. Now, a trick here is to wrap the strap in the first place around a small bottle of water or a rock, and you can then throw it over with the rock or bottle of water, and that will weigh it down more. So that's a little trick or tip to share with you guys. On this occasion, I just did it without the bottle of water or rock. Now, I've got it around both trees. At this point, you just got to put the rings through the straps, as you can see, and then use the buckle. Now, there's a wrong way and a right way of doing the buckle. Honestly speaking, the best way to figure out if you've done it wrong, once you've put it through, tug on it really hard. If it's loose, you've probably put it the wrong way around. So if you've put it the wrong way around, just switch to the side. That's all you need to know here. Now, next thing is getting the rings to the level you want. You just got to pull the buckle down and pull the other part of the strap while you do this, and you can adjust the rings to the height that you desire. From this point in, I'm just going to show you some really basic workouts you can do as a beginner and hopefully inspire some of you out there. So first of all, it's just doing a hang. Hang is fantastic exercise. I can recommend doing every day. It's a good stretch, it's good for your body, and it's also a good way to make sure the tree is strong enough to hold your weight, which is, you got safety first always here. And it's something, if you do this every single day, you'll get stronger. It's good for your back. It can even make you taller. I swear down, if you do a hang every day, you will feel taller because it helps with your posture. So it's a fantastic exercise that nearly anyone can do. Now, next thing is just to make sure you do some stretching. Boring, I know, but ultimately you can hurt yourself in the ring, so I really recommend hanging and doing as many stretches as you can. End of the day, it will mean you get injured less, which means you work out more. Now, next exercise I'll show you after my somewhat exaggerated stretching session here is to show you the Scat Pull Up. So here you just do, if you can't do a real pull-up, this is fantastic. You just do these little pull-ups, just using your lats, your shoulders, and this is a fantastic way to strengthen your back and the perfect sort of beginner way before you start going into pull-ups. Now, assuming you can do pull-ups, then the next thing is to do some pull-ups basically. So I'll show you here. You can rotate or you don't have to, but this is what I'm doing. I'm doing rotated pull-ups. Pull-ups are an amazing exercise. It helps you in many ways. It's really fun to do and it leads you to the strength, to the more advanced exercises. So this is kind of 101 when it comes to beginners, so doing pull-ups. Next, you can adjust the rings, and I'm going to show you some other exercises you can do here. It's also a good example to how you adjust them properly. And the next thing I will show you is the lat hold. So I'm doing this a little bit wrong. You should really have your palms outwards. So this is a lesson to share with you right here. And if you can do that, then you can also do dips. And then dips are a very good exercise for chest. It's a bit like doing a decline bench press. So already we've worked our back, we've done a bit of bicep, we've done a bit of tricep, and we've also done a bit of chest. So you can already see that there's a lot of utility you can get out of the rings here. Now, next we can do some back exercises. So this is a lateral raise, I think is the right word for it. So you can change this in many ways in terms of changing the position of your feet. You can make it harder, you can make it easier. You could easily spend 30-40 minutes just doing this, and it's a fantastic back exercise to employ. One I really recommend. And then once again, we can change the layers, the levels, and there's a lot more you can do. So here we can practice doing push-ups, ring push-ups. So this is doing your chest, doing your triceps, and it's a little bit harder than doing normal push-ups. You've got to do a little bit more balance, and there's lots of variations we can apply here. So it's definitely another kind of thing to add into the mix here. Now, options after this is the ab crunch. So you can actually work your abdominals while you actually work out. So this is one way you loop your feet through the rings. You've obviously moved the rings a little bit lower, a bit like you would in a push-up position. And then you can do crunches on the rings. You can also vary this by putting a push-up into it as well. So I should show you that in just a moment. Now, outside of that, one last ab exercise I can show you is knee ups. So there's a lot of variation. You can do them just like knees up, you can do straight legs, but you start to see here that there's fantastic variations you can do in terms of doing chest, shoulders, abs, and everything else. So this is the real sort of beginner stuff. The more advanced stuff, I'm going to show you some examples now. I am still not an expert. So obviously, if you're already doing this stuff, then there's probably other options to look at on YouTube, but this is really just to show you the beginner aspects. So here's Skin the Cat. This looks really hard, but it isn't actually so difficult. You can achieve this fairly quickly. And I've done some variations in this workout where I'm doing some shrugs as well. But Skin the Cat's a really cool exercise, a good stretch, something that you can do early in the session. Next, I'm going to show you, I don't even know what I call this, but it's quite challenging, but it's again not as hard as it looks, and it's a good sort of bicep and chest workout. And then last not least, I'll show you the muscle up. This is very challenging. It took me 2 years to do this. I'm still only able to do one. I can't do multiple, but this is my attempt without any leap. And again, do not do this unless you're already quite experienced. If you're going to do a muscle up, one thing I really recommend is do not jump. Jumping can cause you to injure yourself. It's better to do it in a slower manner like I've done in this example. It feels amazing once you do a muscle up. It's kind of one of the big lifetime achievements for me. So I've got a long way to go in my progression, but I think this is just to give you an example of what you can achieve in, let's say, 2 years of fairly consistent workouts in the park. Much love, guys. Ciao, ciao.